Welcome back everyone to Warriors Geeky News for the week of January 3rd, 2014. In this installment I'm going to be covering some little tidbits of gaming geeky news that I thought were rather interesting and hopefully you will find interesting as well. But for this week we're starting off with 1313 may not actually be cancelled, and also it's time to kick ass and chew bubblegum. Let's see what other news we can cover today. Star Wars 1313 may not actually be dead? What? Do not take anything I'm about to say in as this is merely me regurgitating some news from GameSpot.com. I will leave a link to the article, of course. That supposedly Star Wars 1313 may actually see a release date in the future. However, it will be no help from Microsoft and it will not be an exclusive. As one of Microsoft Studios executive, Phil Spencer, has stated that it's unlikely that they will have any hand in the game's revival. He stated on Twitter that I am sure Disney have their own plans for Star Wars. Now, for those that don't know, the Star Wars license, along with everything involved in LucasArts, was purchased by Disney about a couple months ago, and Disney subsequently shut down the game in development, and now it's merely a licensing thing. However, 1313 was one of those games that everyone was panning for and really looking forward to. There was a lot of hype for this. Then this game was supposedly near completion, and it was one of the few Star Wars games that I personally was looking forward to. This game was going to follow you the character of Boba Fett, one of the most popular characters in the entire series, having books and various other stuff. And 1313 was going to be a much more grittier version of the Star Wars universe than instead of the happy campy version. And this is more evidence is maybe leaning towards this, as the game's creator Dominic Robillard, I'm butchering his name, has joined the PlayStation team and is working in an unspecified project. Now, however, this is merely a speculation. That's why I'm not spending too much time on it. But this is merely speculation and gives me a little bit more hope that maybe one day we will actually see 1313, Star Wars 1313, my correction there, on the market maybe in the future, because it was near gold apparently, and I would love to get my hands on this game, and I'm pretty sure a lot of Star Wars fans would too. It's time to kick ass and chew bubblegum, bitches, and I'm all out of bubblegum. You guessed it, there's a new Duke Nukem coming out, and it's not going to be a first-person shooter. Holy shit. No, this is something new that I just found out about. Actually, it's getting interesting. That the next installment of the Duke Nukem franchise will actually be an action RPG. Holy shit. This came to light with supposedly the developers of the game releasing an image on their Facebook page and asked people to decipher it. And eventually people did, because we geeks love to do that shit. And it just came at us that it also led to a picture of basically a packet of bubblegum saying kick ass on it. And also to a site called alloutofgum.com, which actually has that same image and also a countdown timer on it. The countdown timer is currently, as we're recording this video, is at 22 days, 3 hours and 47 minutes. Give or take a few minutes, as it is by the time we get this video up. And that is rather interesting, as it is for those. That's mostly interesting to me because now I'm not a super Duke Nukem fan. I've only ever played maybe one or two Duke Nukem games, not including the most recent one, Duke Nukem Forever, which turned out to be, in a lot of people's mind, one of the worst fucking Duke Nukem games that ever came out. The last Duke Nukem game I played was Duke Nukem Land of the Babes on the PlayStation 1. I do have Duke Nukem 3 on my PC. I just haven't played it yet. Now, this has a little bit of hope for those Duke Nukem fans out there, in my opinion. And this isn't a big Duke Nukem fan, but he's a staple of PC gaming and gaming in general. He's one of the most badass characters out there. He's of course, and all the ladies love the Duke, don't they? And it is interesting to see what they can do with this. Now, it says the more we now I'm quoting it here. The text also suggests the upcoming game won't be a first-person shooter. Duke Nukem kicks ass across the planets in the Unreal Engine-powered galactic adventure to save the president from an apocalyptic alien threat. That's the basic synopsis of every Duke Nukem game out there. But it is interesting to see that this franchise is not dead. The Duke Nukem franchise is something that has to continue in some people's minds, and I cannot wait to see what this Duke Nukem game can bring. It honestly can't be any worse than the previous one, and I definitely might check this one out, especially if it's an action RPG with Duke Nukem in the name. That could be interesting. And of course, I will preface this with us. I do not condone anything that Duke Nukem does in the games. And by the way, I can already anticipate the parents going, but think of the children! It'll be marked 18, don't buy it for your fucking kids, parents. I'm saying that right now, because I don't want you fucking bitching. So I'm looking forward to this. I really cannot wait to see that and wait till that countdown hits down to 22 days, because it could be rather interesting to see what that brings. It's time to bring back the Duke, and time to kick our ass and chew bubblegum. And this time, he'll definitely be out of gum. Time to see what that brings. More dire news for the Wii U. Yeah, we got more bad news for the Wii U. Ain't you fucking surprised? Yes, we have some bad news, unfortunately. Warner Bros. Interactive has decided, now this is from January 30th, to not continue supporting the Wii U console, which is a bit more sad news, which also this does kind of vote bad for those that bought Arkham Origins on the Wii U. Who did that, by the way? Just show of hands, please. No, okay. There's something to show. But yeah, Nintendo have came out and stated this as was, and Warner Bros. Interactive have confirmed it. Now, Nintendo did do one good thing though. They did actually return eShop credits to everyone who purchased a season pass on the copy of Batman Arkham Origins for the Wii U. That's at least a little bit of a side note. At least the Wii U isn't just kind of keeping the money and just be like, oh fuck it, you bought the pass. We just they're being good guys for it. That's just very rare, I can say, amongst other gaming development companies. But it is kind of the bit of more sad news for the Wii U, which is really disappointing. I have not got a Wii U, but I love Nintendo. Nintendo is an awesome company. I do own a 3DS, which I think is the only console worth owning right now by Nintendo. But really, this is just a more downward spiral. One big developer like Arkham Origins and Warner Bros. Interactive has pulled out of supporting the Wii U. Which other developers will follow suit? There could be dozens of them, if not a lot of them, are not supporting it. And that's the major problem with the Wii U. It has no good exclusives, and no companies willing to spend the money to make exclusives for it because it's too much of a big risk. Right now, all Nintendo have to make that thing going is their own in-house materials instead of third-party materials, which is not going to support a console. It is disappointing, and I really am sad to see this. What could this mean for Nintendo? Only the future will tell, and I can only say that it ain't looking good, and I hope that Nintendo doesn't go anywhere. But unfortunately, they ain't going to get me a Joker, unfortunately. Well, in spite of this, but the next Arkham Origins DLC could be rather interesting. It could be involving Mr. Freeze. Ooh, I could love that. Compared to the last DLC called Initiation, which was basically challenge maps disguised as story. Fuck you, worst piece of DLC I've ever played. Sheesh! That's all the news that we can cover this week. Very short, very concise. Just topics that interested me the most, and I hope that they interested you at least a little bit. Now, as always, there will be another Warriors Geeky News, hopefully next week. We will see what happens. And if there's any stories that come out throughout this week that you wish for me to cover, please do not hesitate to contact me on all the various ways that you can contact me. Twitter, Facebook, and all of them. All linked in the description down below. And I hope to cover more news in the future. And if there's anything in particular you want me to cover, you know where to get me. And I think that's it. And that is now me. Fuck up. And that's all the news for this week, at least the news that I personally found interesting. Sorry, but this is the first reboot to the Warriors Geeky News. Hopefully this is successful, hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully we can continue on doing this, and fuck you. Okay, 3, 2, 1. And that's all the news for this week. As is, it was rather interesting, some of that news that came out. I'm very pleased with a lot of it. 1313 may be coming, new Duke Nukem game, and also other interesting things here or there. I cannot wait for some more news to come out about these projects, and also maybe to talk about more future news in the future. Now, if there's any gaming news, any gaming geeky news that you want me to discuss, please do not hesitate to let me know by contacting me via Facebook, Twitter, my blog, or by ScottishWarrior92@gmail.com with the subject heading Geeky News. And I hope to get a lot of interesting topic for me to talk about next week. And I hope you enjoyed this as always, I'm Scottish Warrior 92, and I'll see you all next time on Warriors Geeky News.